Hi, this is Anthony. Welcome back to my show. I just finished reading through the 713-page book, A Private Spy, The Letters of John Le Carré, edited by Tim Cornwell, who was his son. Tim died at the end of May 2022, just as he finished editing the book. His father, David Cornwell, known to the world as the writer John Le Carré, died in December of 2020. Likely few people write letters on paper these days, though Le Carré was of an age when it was normal and often necessary to do so. Eventually, he would on occasion fax letters to people and eventually adopted email for some communication. It sounds like most of his letters were handwritten, as he admitted that he was a one-finger typist, although some of his letters, especially business letters, were typed by his second wife. If a biographer were to look through your letters and emails, how complete of a life history would they get from that view? Likely a very narrow glimpse. It's such a large book, which reads fairly quick, as you can dip in and out as you like, and some of the pages have less words, simply because these are letters. You do get a good sense of the writer, but you also get the sense that you're not getting the whole picture, not necessarily by design, but simply based on the material that you're working with. I think that I've probably only read one Le Carré novel, and that likely was 35 years ago, as well as watching some of the BBC television productions and movies, some of which are quite good. Adam Sisman has written a biography, and there are a number of videos on YouTube where Le Carré is interviewed, either specifically about particular movies based on his books, and those videos are quite good, along with other more general wide-ranging interview shows, which I see as weaker as far as the information presented. Overall, from the perspective of somebody who is not much of a fan of Le Carré, but who is someone interested in the background and workings of authors, actors, and artists, I found this book interesting. If you like this author, if you like books that are collections of letters, especially people who are connected to the world of espionage as well as the literary world, you'll probably like this. The great thing about this book is if you start reading a letter that's written to a son simply about mundane family events, you can skip it without feeling guilty and without missing much context of most of the other letters. One slight criticism that I have is that while there are some footnotes and explanations, there's probably not enough for many potential readers, especially those outside the United Kingdom. I didn't need to look up many of the names or details, but I think that many readers would need further reference or at least would read through parts that they didn't fully understand, and so better footnoting would have helped. Also, a couple pages of very short biographies of some of the people that the letters were addressed to. These often were done at the beginning of the first letter that a particular person might be addressed, but 500 pages later, if you encounter that person again, you may have forgotten what their connection to Le Carré was. Overall, an interesting reference, and if the subject is of interest to you, I think you'll find it informative and valuable. As always, if you haven't already, I would really appreciate it if you click that subscribe button and check out my other videos. If you have any thoughts, please do leave a comment. My channel runs a gambit from movies and book reviews to personal finance and stock investing to examining unsolved mysteries like Jack the Ripper and the D.B. Cooper skyjacking case, among many other historical and contemporary topics. This has been the Anthony R.R. Mills Show. Thanks again.